We put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them can walk through the mall without security. Be what you gonna be, but put your people on. If you a gay person and you in there, put some other gay people on. Put somebody on. Or don't be wondering why people keep saying gatekeepers. Because clearly, y'all are keeping these gates. Clearly.
Tyler Perry just got slapped with a jaw-dropping $260 million lawsuit. Yeah, you heard that, right? And guess what it's about? He's being accused of creeping on a white dude. This wild claim is coming right after Katt Williams dropped truth bombs about some of these so-called black excellence icons the media worships. Katt's been saying for years that some of the most polished names in Hollywood are actually hiding shady secrets. And now it's starting to make sense. Katt is now exposing some messy tea about what he calls Tyler Perry's white boy casting couch. And once you hear it, the puzzle pieces click into place. Tyler Perry's name rings out in black Hollywood like royalty. From the unstoppable Medea movies to him owning one of the biggest film studios in the world. He rose up from being homeless to a whole billionaire. But according to Katt and a growing list of critics, that rise wasn't all clean. There's a dark underbelly to that empire. Katt's been warning folks for years, saying certain powerful Hollywood players only let black men climb if they play roles that strip away their strength and manhood. And topping that list, Tyler Perry. Plain and simple, Katt's not pulling any punches. But it didn't stop there. Katt made it clear he don't hate Tyler as a person. He even gave him props for working hard. But then he dropped the hammer, saying Tyler Perry's really out here living as a drag queen and using younger men for his own personal thrills. And no, Katt wasn't clowning. He said it dead serious, like he was exposing something that's been hidden for way too long. What's really going on behind Tyler Perry's closed doors? Because the way he allegedly operates behind the scenes is raising major red flags. The roles he hands out to certain men? Word is, they come with strings attached. This ain't just about acting talent. It's about what you're willing to do off camera. That so-called casting couch has a price, and the receipts are piling up. Katt Williams lit the match, but he ain't alone in this. More people who've worked with Tyler are stepping forward with their own disturbing stories.
Clearly.
Actor and voice coach Brandon Jay went viral after he spilled on his personal run-in with Tyler. He said he was originally cast on Meet the Browns to play a high school jock named Jeffrey. Everything seemed normal until Tyler came through and flipped the whole script. Brandon said, out of nowhere, his character was suddenly rewritten as a gay teen who had a crush on his bully. That wasn't what he signed up for, and he made it crystal clear that this change came last minute, straight from Tyler himself. Brandon didn't hold back. He suggested this ain't a one-time thing. According to him, this is how Tyler allegedly operates when he's got his eye on someone, and it doesn't stop there. Derek Dixon, who played Dale on The Oval, is now taking legal action. He's the one behind that massive $260 million lawsuit claiming he was manipulated and assaulted while working under Perry's production. Allegedly, the deeper you dig, the uglier it gets. Derek Dixon came with receipts, real ones. He dropped exact dates, locations, and even text messages that he says prove Tyler Perry was trying to get him into bed. According to court documents, it all started back in 2019. Tyler allegedly spotted Derek in a crowd at some event, pulled him aside, asked for his number, and told him there might be a role for him. And boom, soon after, Derek was cast in Ruthless, one of Tyler's shows. But then the vibe switched. Derek said Tyler invited him to his Atlanta mansion in January 2020. Thinking it was just a friendly professional move, Derek went over hoping to bond and maybe build his career. But once inside, things allegedly went left. Derek says he drank too much that night and ended up crashing in a guest room. That's when it got real serious. He claims Tyler came in during the night and started touching his thighs without permission. Derek says he shut it down, but it didn't end there. He later landed a bigger role as Dale on The Oval. But get this, the character was a gay homeless man working in a corner store, sleeping around just to survive. Derek says that role was no coincidence. He claims Tyler straight up told him he was searching for a real-life partner just like Dale. Someone loyal, needy, and completely dependent on him.
Here's a story time about how filming Meet the Browns was the most stressful and hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I had no idea that Tyler Perry Studios' schedule was so drastic. If you're working on a regular network show, they take a whole week to film an episode. Tyler Perry Studios, they film an episode in one day. The character was Jeffrey, a fat high school teenager who was very intellectual, who was getting bullied at school. I take 2 to 3 days to learn the entire script. On the day of filming, first thing we do is a table read. I know all of my lines. I'm ready to go. So the director, who is Alfonso Ribeiro Carlton in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he starts to block us, telling the actors where to go, where to stand. Mr. Perry comes in, everything changes. So we literally run the entire episode for him, and he hates it. Does that mean I have to learn a whole new script? Yes, that's what it means. Mr. Perry, on the spot, starts rewriting the entire script, and he's feeding me the lines to say, and the director is kind of standing on the side like, you better do it, because if not, they will fire you. Here is where the shoe hit the fan. So in the middle of Mr. Perry changing up the scenes, he says, you know, I want Jeffrey to be gay, and he has a crush on his bully. That's not what I auditioned for.
And here's where it gets even messier. Derek says Tyler kept blowing up his phone with flirty, suggestive texts. He was allegedly asking about personal preferences, hinting at his own, and even saying stuff like he sleeps with men. All this while Tyler has never publicly said anything about his sexuality. But if Derek's telling the truth, those texts paint a whole different picture. The lawsuit ain't just talk. Derek backed it up with actual screenshots of the messages. One of them even said, "You are the rose. No straight man would be walking with you unless he wanted to F you, and I would F you." Wild. Tyler Perry's legal team is calling the whole thing bogus, saying it's nothing but a setup and an attempt to shake him down for money. But Derek's sticking to his truth. He said he felt stuck in a trap. According to Derek, he didn't feel like he could flat out reject Tyler without blowing up his whole career. So he played it smart. He tried to dodge the pressure by saying stuff like, "I'm not the sexual type," just to deflect without setting off any drama. He didn't confront it head on because deep down, he feared getting blackballed in the industry. That fear of losing everything kept him silent. Until now. And this is where Katt Williams starts sounding more like a prophet than a comedian. Katt once warned everybody, when you go against the Hollywood machine, they'll slap a label on you real quick. Crazy is their favorite weapon to shut people up and kill their credibility. Katt said that's exactly what happened to Dave Chappelle. Remember when Dave walked away from that $50 million deal with Comedy Central? He told folks he wasn't trying to be anyone's puppet. But instead of hearing him out, they sent him to Oprah's show where she tried to get him to admit he had a breakdown. Dave kept his cool and said, no, but the media had already flipped the story. Now it's got people wondering, maybe that $50 million came with the same kind of baggage Derek says he dealt with from Tyler. Now people are coming at Derek from all angles, questioning his motives like crazy. They're asking, why now? Why drop a lawsuit right when Tyler Perry's brand new movie Straw, starring Taraji P. Henson, is blowing up the charts and grabbing all the spotlight? Folks are calling it a clout chase, a money grab, a straight-up PR hit job. But again, that's exactly the kind of reaction Katt Williams warned us about. He said when you stand up to the Hollywood power players, they flip the script on you. Suddenly, the victim becomes the villain. And sure enough, that's what's happening to Derek right now. Tyler tried to brush off the whole situation with a little joke, telling fans to chill and not overthink it. But the streets ain't laughing. They want answers, and not just smooth talk. People are asking for receipts, cold hard facts. And Derek says he's got all of it. Text messages, names, dates, the full breakdown. And the craziest part? His story is starting to sound real familiar, especially now that others are stepping forward. Take actor Christian Keys, for example. He never dropped names, but he once did an interview where he said someone in a position of power tried to manipulate him using that power. He hinted hard, but didn't say who. Still, the internet ran with it. And most people connected the dots right back to Tyler Perry.
Yeah, that wasn't the thing. It wasn't People say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Like, oh, really?
Why? Because Christian had worked closely with Tyler for years, appearing in multiple productions. And when you line up the timing, it fits way too neatly to ignore. Even 50 Cent had something to say. He posted a photo with Tyler and captioned it, "Did that dude just say what I think he said? Nah, we ain't jacking this game." Sure, it sounded exaggerated, but it showed where 50 stood. He's always shown love to Tyler for helping him in the media biz, but the people? They're not buying the silence anymore. The streets are buzzing and Tyler's name is hotter than ever for all the wrong reasons. And now, the dominoes keep falling. More voices are creeping out the shadows, and the pressure around Tyler Perry is getting harder to ignore. Social media's on fire. Threads are breaking down old interviews, resurfacing clips, and comparing timelines. People are saying this ain't just one man crying foul. It's a pattern that's been hiding in plain sight. Some folks are even revisiting past moments where Tyler's casting choices raised eyebrows. Why do so many of his male characters fall into the same types? Emasculated, struggling, or stuck in situations that strip them of power. Fans are now connecting those creative choices to the allegations being made. And suddenly, what used to seem like just his style is being seen in a whole different light. There's also been renewed attention on Tyler's role in controlling his productions from top to bottom. He writes, directs, casts, and funds almost everything himself, which, until now, was seen as a major flex. But now critics are asking, does that kind of control mean he had the power to silence people or pressure them behind the scenes without any accountability? And it's not just actors. Some insiders from the production world are hinting they've heard stories too. No official statements yet, but the whispers are getting louder. Everyone's waiting to see if more people will step forward and speak their truth.
I'm glad you're here. Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million?
I wasn't walking away from the money. I was walking away from the circumstances with the newfound plateau.
Yeah.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. I've heard the stories, seen these kinds of things play out in front of me. I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through, and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah.
It's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tyler's team is still acting unbothered, doubling down on their claim that this lawsuit is just a baseless attack on his reputation. But the court of public opinion doesn't play by legal rules, and right now, people are questioning everything. One thing's clear, this story ain't dying down anytime soon. The more folks dig, the deeper it gets. And if more names come forward with receipts, it could blow the lid off the entire image Tyler Perry has spent years building. And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, boom. Another twist is making headlines. Rumors are now swirling about some big names in Hollywood allegedly helping cover things up for Tyler behind the scenes. Word is, there are folks in power who've known about the whispers for years, but chose to stay quiet to protect their own bags and connections. Insiders are saying there were NDAs flying around like confetti, allegedly used to keep actors and crew silent. Some even claim they were warned not to ask questions or dig too deep if they wanted to stay employed. That's the kind of fear that keeps people in check, until someone like Derek breaks the silence. Now fans are going back and side-eyeing every major celeb who's been linked to Tyler, especially the ones who always sing his praises but suddenly went quiet when the scandal hit. Folks are wondering, who's really loyal and who's just protecting themselves? Meanwhile, Taraji P. Henson is catching strays too, not because she's involved, but because she's starring in Tyler's latest hit, Straw. Some fans are demanding that she speak up or distance herself. Others say she's just caught in the crossfire, doing her job. But in this kind of storm, silence always makes noise. Even journalists and bloggers who used to celebrate Tyler's every move are starting to shift. Some are re-editing old interviews, pointing out the subtle red flags they missed.
He's got the whole world in his hands. Got the whole world in his hands. Hey, I'm just sitting here on my porch just looking. What am I looking at? I'm looking to the hills from whence cometh my help. For my help? Some of y'all know the rest. I just wanted to come on and just tell everybody, just be as calm as you can.
It's like the whole industry's under a new lens, and Tyler's name is at the center of it all. At this point, it's not just about one lawsuit. It's about a reputation that's cracking, a legacy that's under fire, and an empire that might be built on secrets nobody was supposed to find out. The question is, who's next to speak up? Now here's where it gets even crazier. Fans are dragging Oprah and Tyler's tight-knit circle into the mix. People are starting to ask the hard questions. Where's Oprah in all this? She's been one of Tyler's biggest allies for years. They've done business together, supported each other's projects, and always gushed about one another publicly. But now, she's silent. And that silence is loud. Social media is calling her out, saying if she could press Dave Chappelle about his mental state on national TV, why can't she address the serious claims swirling around her friend? Some folks even believe Oprah might have known more than she ever let on, and just chose to look the other way. Then, there's the Tyler Perry studio tours. Remember when everyone was praising how he built it from the ground up, calling it the Black Hollywood dream? Well now, people are side-eyeing it like, was this studio really built on opportunity or manipulation? That glossy image is getting chipped away piece by piece. Even people who defended Tyler at first are starting to shift. They're saying if he really had nothing to hide, he would have dropped all the evidence and cleared his name by now. But instead, it's just been legal statements, jokes, and silence from the top. Meanwhile, Derek isn't backing down. He's still standing 10 toes down on his claims, and the lawsuit's moving forward. More fans, more influencers, even small creators are digging into Tyler's past, and every new detail is throwing more fuel into the fire. This isn't just a scandal anymore, it's turning into a movement, a full-blown reckoning that's putting pressure on the whole industry. People are tired of the fake images, the protected secrets, and the so-called excellence that hides the truth. And they're watching, waiting for someone big to break. And now, the pressure is reaching a whole new level. Industry insiders are whispering that this scandal could trigger a full-on Hollywood shakeup, especially when it comes to how power is handled behind closed doors.
This person is a predator, and he's one of several. And I have proof. It's not like I'm just making false accusations. The receipts, the recordings, down to the police department, and let them hear this individual, the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I declined. Because again, scenic route, I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. I recorded it because I didn't trust him. And I had told him over and over. And he still always tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him. I can press play and you can hear the person and you'll know immediately who the person is that's offering me $100,000 to strip. You'll know right away and it'll break your heart.
Word is, there are execs quietly distancing themselves from Tyler Perry already. People who used to line up for cameos or production deals, now they're pulling back, not answering calls, not posting support. That's how you know things are getting serious. Some folks are saying that if even one more person steps up with solid proof, the floodgates will fly open. There's talk that a few former cast and crew members from past Tyler Perry projects are already speaking to legal teams in private, just waiting to see how this lawsuit plays out before they go public. And while Tyler's staying quiet, his empire is moving. Weird. Projects are being delayed. Promo events are being canceled. Social media accounts that used to post daily are suddenly silent. that squeaky clean image? It's got visible cracks now, and people are noticing. Even fans who once saw Tyler as a hero are confused. They're torn between admiration for his rise and disgust at what's being revealed. How can someone build so much and still be accused of this? That question is everywhere. Meanwhile, Katt Williams is being hailed as the one who tried to tell us first. His name is trending again, not for comedy, but because people are re-watching his interviews like prophecies. Every wild thing he said is starting to make sense in the mess we're seeing now. This ain't just Tyler's battle anymore. It's exposing a system, a culture where silence was rewarded and speaking up was punished. But now, the silence is cracking. People are finally listening, and the truth might be louder than any movie or show he's ever produced. This mess has been brewing for years. Some folks are even telling people to look deeper into where Medea really came from. The internet ain't holding back. One user said, "This isn't the world trying to tear down another black man. This is him finally paying for his shenanigans and bad decisions." And let's not forget what Katt Williams warned us. At best, these dudes are gonna get exposed. Now we want to hear from you. Was this exposure long overdue, or just another wild controversy blowing up online? Hit the comments and let your voice be heard. And if you're rocking with real talk and bold voices that don't sugarcoat the truth, you're in the right place. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear what's really going on behind the scenes. We've got more drama, more receipts, and more heat coming your way. So don't miss out. See you on the next one.